This is a Flying Cow production.
Well, hello, and welcome back to Movie Battles, where we have the very best in Disney Pixar movie trivia, and we put them head to head. I am your host, the Flying Cow himself, Clay Johnson, and here with me today is the victorious one, Vernon Green. How we doing today, Vernon?
I'm doing good. So very happy that I'm not calling a match with the Hammer, and that I'm not being referred to as Vicky.
I think we all appreciate that. I've got to say, I'm sorry that you've been paired with him so much, Vernon. The last time, I know I even promised you that you wouldn't have to call any part of the Elimination Chamber with. I was supposed to do that. He called me away. I got a call, an emergency call. Next thing I know, he's doing the whole. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the Elimination Gauntlet was fun. I'm glad that I don't have to do it again, and especially with the Hammer being around. That man is truly the dingle hopper that I called him. Yes.
Yeah, quite a few shenanigans. Speaking of the Hammer shenanigans, that brings us to today's match, because today we have the debut of, or at least the one-on-one debut of the Bullet, Brandon Rutledge, and his opponent today. So you remember when the Hammer made his decrees right before he left, and he said that Kaleb Boatman would be getting another shot at a title path. Mm-hmm. And if Boatman got a title shot at some point, he would name somebody else as his successor. Well, Boatman did get a title shot if you watched the Elimination Gauntlet. And recently, the Hammer decided that his choice for Boatman's replacement would be, who's surprised? The King, Kaleb Koho. So the Hammer really likes the Kalebs, I guess. I don't.
Unfortunately, sometimes when the Hammer, I'm not going to say it in the words of backing the wrong horse, but sometimes he does. But I'm glad that Kaleb is getting another shot here. Yeah. Because Kaleb is more than the results that we've seen in the past.
Absolutely. Absolutely. While, I might not agree with, the methods of the Hammer, exactly. Kaleb getting another shot here is, I think, well-deserved. We will just have to see if he can make the most of this opportunity today. So, Vernon, what do you say we go ahead and bring in today's competitors?
Let's do it. Let's get to it.
All right. Introducing first, making his Movie Battles debut. His favorite films in the genre include A Goofy Movie, Aladdin, and Oliver and Company. He is the Bullet, Brandon Rutledge.
There he is.
Brandon, how are we doing today? Great to have you here, actually in a one-on-one match.
I'm so glad to finally be here. I've been waiting for quite some time, but life just happens. But you know what? I'm finally here. I am ready to play, and much preferably here to win.
All right. Well, we will just have to see if you can be successful in that pursuit.
All right, let's do this.
And his opponent, representing the Kingdom with a record of 1 win, 3 defeats, he is the King, Kaleb Koho.
Look at the suave. Look at the attitude in this man.
He has quite the swagger. Caleb, how are you today, sir?
I'm feeling very grateful to the Hammer, our illustrious leader.
He's no longer in charge. Okay.
That should change. He's great. He was very kind to give me this opportunity because he looked down. He saw that I'm constantly getting put in positions that are maybe a lot too fair. So, I mean, talk about a first match. Who thought it was fair for me to play, Kelly? What are we doing here? So at least the Hammer's gracious enough to fix that.
Does he know me and the Hammer's relationship and this high praise? I mean,
I don't think he cares, Vernon.
Situations that's not gonna. I'll be as full of integrity that I could be in this match after those comments.
All right. Well, why do you say we go ahead and bring Brandon back in here? All right, and let's get things started with the reading of the rules for round number 1. All right, in round number 1, 8 questions from random categories will be given to all competitors. Competitors will have 15 seconds to write each answer. Answers in this round must be spoken aloud when revealing your response. All questions are worth 1 point. If either competitor gets all 8 correct, they will have a perfect round and receive a 1-point bonus question. Competitors can also have 3 repeats that they can use at any point throughout the match. So if you need a little bit more time or you want to hear a question again, use your repeats. Competitors also have a challenge that they can use at any point. If they do not agree with a call that has been made, they can challenge. If their challenge is upheld, then they will keep their challenge. There is no stealing in this round. All right, competitors, are you ready?
Absolutely.
All right, Vernon, are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, well then I don't know about you guys, but I feel ready for a movie battle. Action begin. And we will start in round 1 with question number 1 in the category of early classics and classics. These are the films of the 30s through the 50s. And your question: in which film will you find a small cat named Dinah?
Small cat named Dinah.
Yeah, I don't personally have any cats. I have in the past, but don't have one right now. I grew up with a cat, a big orange one named Simon. He was a Manx. He had no tail. Good story. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, and Brandon, we are starting with you, sir.
Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland is correct. Koho.
Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland. So both competitors starting off with a point apiece, tied already.
And we will go to question 2 in the realm of the Renaissance, mostly 90s. And we'll see if Brandon's favorite movies hold up here. In Aladdin, who provides the voice of the merchant who opens the film and introduces us to the lamp?
Aladdin is definitely one of those films that I watched a lot as a kid. Owned it on home video, and I hear the stories all the time of people like wearing out VHS tapes. Mine must have been extra durable because I watched them a ton of times and never wore a single one out.
I had the cassette tape. So
4, 3, 2, and 1.
And we will go with Caleb.
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams is correct. And Brandon.
Rest in peace, Robin Williams.
There we go. Still all tied up after 2.
Tied up after 2. Going into question number 3 in the category of the dark times. These are the films of the 2000s. And your question: which 2000s film is known for the repetitive mantra, keep moving forward?
I feel like this is my mantra every time I have to do something with the hammer.
just keep going. Keep going. You know, it's definitely, yeah, it can be challenging. I gotta say, I feel for you when I'm rewatching and editing those matches. I'm just like, man, too bad I don't pay Vernon anything, because I would give him a raise in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, and Brandon, we are starting with you.
I don't really remember this. I'm gonna say Bolt.
Bolt is incorrect. And Koho.
Criminally undervalued. With the Robinsons.
It is Meet the Robinsons. All right, so we are going to keep moving forward with question number 4 as Kaleb takes a 1-point lead.
Question 4 in the category of Pixar. In Inside Out, everything starts to change for Riley when her family moves to what city?
Inside Out. So this film, how many times did this film make you cry, Vernon?
From my vast knowledge of movie trivia that you already know, I've never seen it.
Oh, really? Wow. I've got to say, it's a good one. It's one of my top Pixar films.
And I blame the question writer for how hard that was to read the first 3 words in Inside Out.
4. Hey, that's me. 3,
Yeah.
2, and 1. All right. Yeah.
We will go with Kaleb.
San Francisco.
San Francisco is correct. Brandon?
San Francisco.
San Francisco battles back there to keep just a 1-point deficit.
All right. And with that, we are going into the new category for this season, Hybrid and Muppets. These are the live action animation combinations and Muppets films. And your question: in what hybrid film can you see the performances of Burl Ives, Bobby Driscoll, and Beulah Bondi?
Burl Ives. You know, some people say that if you play Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman, the music kind of syncs up. I don't see how that's possible.
Yeah, I don't think that would really work. Although I gotta say, big fan of Burl Ives as the Snowman. Silver and gold, silver and in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, and Brandon.
So Dear to My Heart.
So Dear to My Heart. Well, thank you very much for that, Brandon. And Kaleb.
I took a shot at it. It's the Reluctant Dragon.
Not quite. So Brandon ties it back up at 4. Neither competitor getting a perfect round this time, but both showing their mettle here with going into question number 6.
Question 6 in the category of Decline in Wilderness, that is the 60s through the 80s. What Disney animated film was released in 1985? Got a whole year to itself, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of these Disney films were like that. I mean, that's why I can ask questions like that. I mean, there might have been some other live action releases, but as far as Disney animated films, this would have been the one. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
And we will go with Kaleb.
The Black Cauldron.
The Black Cauldron is correct. Brandon.
Absolutely an awful movie. Black Cauldron.
There we go.
All
Both
right.
fighters going strong.
All right. Still tied at 5, going into everybody's favorite category, package film. All right. And these are, of course, the short collections of the 40s. And your question. The film Make Mine Music features a love story between 2 hats. What is the fedora's first name?
How do you think the Hammer feels about package films?
Knowing the Hammer, he probably doesn't really care about anything that, you have to take a long time to get into. So probably not too friendly in 5,
Just for future
4,
knowledge.
3, 2, and 1. All right, and we are starting with Brandon.
I believe it's Johnny.
Johnny is correct. And Caleb?
Johnny.
Boom.
All right, Johnny and Johnny tied at 6 going into the final question in this round.
Which is going to be in the category of CG Revolution, the 2010s to the present. In Zootopia, who provides the voice of Judy Hopps? I like this movie, even though I couldn't remember what the name of the darn sloth was.
It happens. It happens. Those side characters, a lot of times, it's like, I know who they are, but I can't remember, like, what names.
My brain was operating like the sloth. I was literally like,
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, and
we will go with Caleb.
Jennifer Goodwin.
Jennifer Goodwin is correct. And Brandon.
I was close. I said Jennifer Saunders.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. I would say that would be a very different film. But with that, Caleb takes a 1-point lead, 7-6, coming out of round number 1. So we are heading towards round number 2. So let's go ahead and bring up the rules. In round number 2, also known as the wheel round, each competitor will spin the wheel up to 2 times. If you do not like your first spin, you can choose to respin, unless, of course, you land on opponent's choice, in which case you are stuck with that. Competitors will receive 4 questions from their category. Questions in this round are worth 2 points. Multiple choice is available. However, if you go to it, the value of the question will drop to 1 point. Competitors will have 15 seconds to answer each question. Opponents may steal if a competitor gives an incorrect response. Repeats and challenges are still in effect in this round. All right. So, like I said, at the end of round number 1, Caleb took a 1-point lead. So, Caleb, you have the choice. Would you like to spin first, or would you like to defer to Brandon?
Apple bottom jeans, boots with defer.
All right. So, Brandon, you are going to be getting your category first. So let's go ahead and bring up the wheel. All right. Brandon, can you see the wheel?
Yes, sir.
All right. Then, Brandon, this spin is for you. Brandon, looking for something favorable. This is the first time we've seen him, so we do not know what is a favorable category. But the question is it Muppets? Brandon, would you like to keep this or spin again?
Spin again.
We're going to spin again. Spinning away from Muppets. Going to have to see what Brandon gets stuck with now. And he has landed on Renaissance. That fist pump tells me that he favors this category a little bit more. So Brandon is going to be getting 4 questions in the category of the Disney Renaissance. And Brandon, I am going to be asking these questions to you. All right, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right. And your question. Who provided the voice for both Cogsworth in Beauty and the Beast and Governor Ratcliffe in Pocahontas?
Multiple choice.
Multiple choice it is. And your options there. Is it A, David Ogden Stiers, B, Jerry Orbach, C, Alan Alda, or D, David Warner?
A.
A, David Ogden Stiers is correct for 1 point. So with that, Brandon ties it back up, going into the second question in the category of Renaissance. And your question there, in Pocahontas, what type of tree does Pocahontas talk to?
Her grandmother, Willow.
Willow is correct for 2 points. And your penultimate question in this round. In Hercules, what type of mythological creature does Phil say that he is?
Oh, what was what are those things called? Multiple choice.
All right. Multiple choice it is. And your options there. Is it A, Sphinx, B, a centaur, C, a satyr, or D, a griffin?
Satyr.
Satyr is correct for 1 point. All right, going now into your final question in this round. In the film, what is the name of Tarzan's elephant friend?
Oh my gosh. I just looked this up. I'll know when I hear it. Multiple choice.
All right. Your options there. Is it A, Flint, B, Kerchak, C, Mungo, or D, Tantor?
It's Tantor.
Tantor is correct for 1 point. So, went through a lot of multiple choice, however, got all of them correct, and he currently has a 4-point lead going at the end of his round number 2. However, Kaleb still has his spin to go, so we will just have to see how this goes. So let's bring the wheel up for Kaleb.
Nothing wrong with checking down the multiple choice. At least, you know, he protected his points and didn't give them away. So,
yeah, I mean, obviously he used it very wisely. Got a point out of every single question there. Kaleb, can you see the wheel?
Yes, sir.
All right, then, Kaleb, this spin is yours. And you have landed on scores and soundtracks. Would you like to keep it, or would you like to spin again?
I'll keep it.
All right, and Kaleb is keeping scores and soundtracks. So he's going to be getting 4 questions in the category of scores and soundtracks. And Kaleb, those questions are going to be asked to you by none other than the victorious one himself, Vernon Green.
Kaleb, your first question in the realm of scores and soundtracks. In which hybrid film will you find the songs such as That's the Life for Me, Family, and Good News?
Multiple choice.
Multiple choice it is. Is it A, So Dear to My Heart, B, Pete's Dragon, C, Bedknobs and Broomsticks, or D, James and the Giant Peach?
I will go with C.
Bedknobs and Broomsticks is incorrect. Brandon, for the steal, in which hybrid film will you find songs such as That's the Life for Me, Family, and Good News? And your multiple choice answers are A, So Dear to My Heart, B, Pete's Dragon, C, Bedknobs and Broomsticks, or D, James and the Giant Peach?
Say Pete's Dragon.
That is also incorrect. We were looking for James and the Giant Peach.
It occurs to me nobody knows this movie.
I love this movie.
I do
and
too.
I sadly would have gotten it right because that's the life for me. That's
Yeah.
They all sing it going on top of the peach.
I remember now.
Right.
All right. Caleb, your second question. For what film did Zooey Deschanel perform 3 songs, including A Very Important Thing to Do and So Long?
I'll go multiple choice.
And we can provide you those multiple choice answers. Is it A, Bolt, B, Winnie the Pooh, C, Meet the Robinsons, or D, Chicken Little?
Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh is correct for 1 point. Good
That
play.
brings him within 3 of Brandon.
Question 3 in the
2.
realm of scores
it
and soundtracks for you. How many Cars films has Randy Newman scored?
2.
2 is correct. 2 very big confident points there. And your final
That
question.
He is within 1 of Brandon.
Your final question. Who provided the score for Raya and the Last Dragon?
James Newton Howard.
James Newton Howard is correct. Took his time with that one, got the points that he needed, and goes up by 1 now.
Yeah, in fact, it looked like he was composing the score himself as he was
Exactly.
figuring that out. But, he got it figured out and now has a 1-point lead going into round number 3. So let's go ahead and bring up the rules for that round. All right, in round number 3, competitors will pick 3 numbers ranging from 1 to 20 that correspond to 3 random categories. Each competitor will get 3 questions. Questions in this round are worth 2, 3, and 5 points respectively. Competitors will have 15 seconds to answer each question. There will be no stealing or multiple choice in this round. Repeats and challenges are still in effect. All right. So at the end of round number 2, going into round number 3, Caleb currently has a 1-point lead. So Caleb, you get to choose your numbers first. What sounds good to you, sir?
Yeah, we'll stick with the reliable. We'll go 4, 7, and 13.
4, 7, and 13. All right. And Brandon.
9, 5, 19.
5 and 19. So Brandon is currently down by 1, which means that in order to avoid the TKO and send it back to Caleb, he will have to answer a question. So we're going to start with his 2-point question. And Brandon, you chose number 9. And that relates to the category of John and Alan. All right. And your question for 2 points. John Ratzenberger voices P.T. Flea in what Pixar film?
A Bug's Life.
A Bug's Life is correct for 2 points. All right. So Brandon avoids the TKO and sends it back to Caleb.
Caleb, for your 2-point question, you chose the number 4, which is in the category of The Decline in Wilderness. In Oliver and Company, what type of animal is Oliver?
Yeah.
Yes.
That is correct.
All right. So getting a couple softballs in their 2-pointers. Kind of typical. They're 2-pointers. But now we are going into the 3-point questions. All right. So in order to send this back to Caleb, Brandon is going to have to answer his 3-point question. And Brandon, you chose number 5, and that relates to the category of directors. All right. And your question for 3 points. Credited as co-director of Brave, who is, well, to the point that I wrote this question, who is one of the only women to have directed a Pixar film? Co-director of Brave.
Brenda Chapman?
That is correct for 3 points.
I don't know where I pulled that
Great
from.
pull from Brandon. And now he leads by 2 and sends it to Kaleb to answer his 3-point question.
Kaleb, your 3-point question, which you chose number 7, which is in the realm of early Pixar. In Ratatouille, when Remy and Alfredo start working at Gusteau's, how many stars does the restaurant have?
In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat the question.
All right, that's your
Wants a
first
repeat
one.
here. In early Pixar, in Ratatouille, when Remy and Alfredo start working at Gusteau's, how many stars does the restaurant have?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, 3.
3 is correct.
Okay.
Took his
I
time
talked
and got the
myself
pull
through that
there.
one.
Yeah, I think he was about to overthink that, but thankfully he was able to pull it back.
Doing the thing where I was like, you lost one for the critic, lost one when he died, and I couldn't remember if that meant 2 or 3.
Right. So, that means that Kaleb currently has a 1-point lead, which pushes Brandon to his 5-point question. Now, if Brandon can hit his 5, he will send it back to Kaleb to have to answer his 5s. However, if he misses, then Kaleb will win. And your question. You chose number 19. That relates to the category of scores and soundtracks. Scores and soundtracks. And your question. What French singer, actor, and entertainer came out of retirement to sing the title track for the Aristocats? In 5,
Repeat the question.
4. All right, that's your first one. In the category of scores and soundtracks, what French singer, actor, and entertainer came out of retirement to sing the title track for the Aristocats? In 5, 4.
Good game, Kaleb. I'll say Pierre LaPierre.
And your winner, the King, Kaleb Koho. We were looking for Maurice Chevalier.
I mean, the Aristocats, come on now.
Les Aristocats. Yeah. All right. So tough 5, but great game from both of these competitors.
Very exciting match. Took it down to the
Yeah.
5s.
Tough match. I mean, both of them, having great showings up until that point. both kind of struggling a little bit on their 3. And then, unfortunately, Brandon just got that 5-pointer. I mean, we can ask him about this in a second, but I think that the moment he got scores and soundtracks, he wasn't very happy.
Yeah.
And then you just, you get those things that, you just don't know. I mean, I grew up watching Maurice Chevalier in other Disney films. So, that's something that's a little bit more familiar for me, but I'm also old. So,
And as happy as I am for Kaleb here, it definitely breaks my heart to say that the hammer has one under his belt there with a pick.
Well, I mean, you never know. Let's not give the hammer too much credit here. Let's go ahead and let us go into post interviews, and we will be talking first to the Bullet, Brandon Rutledge.
Brandon, it came down to the 5-pointers, and unfortunately, scores and soundtracks bit you there. Talk to us about how you felt going up into that 5-pointer.
I was hoping it would be, like Renaissance, but as soon as I heard, I mean, just like Clay said a moment ago, as soon as I heard scores and soundtracks, I pretty much knew I lost the match. Especially, I know Caleb's not Caleb, excuse me, Clay's not much older than I am, but I've heard the name Maurice Chevalier, but yeah, there's no way I would have pulled that.
I give you credit. You played to the 5-point game, and there were some times it looked like you weren't going to pull an answer, but you were like, woo, there it is. I've got the answer. How does it feel to pull an answer out that you're just absolutely going on a whim with?
I mean, I'll admit directors has never been a strong category for me in any form of movie trivia, but I've done some studying, here and there whenever I can, and just Brandon Chapman just somehow popped in my head somewhere, and thankfully got me that 3-pointer. I will say, regardless, yeah, I lost, but I'm very proud of my first singles performance. Hopefully, I'll pull out a win in my next one.
It was definitely impressive. 16 points is definitely nothing to shake a stick at, so you definitely did good. Is there anybody you've seen, in movie battles that you might want to see in the future, whether it be fun or competition?
Oh man, there's a lot of people I love to take. I love to take on everybody, but there are 2 names I always kept popping in my head from when I started watching movie battles from the very beginning. One, I think not only does it be a fun competitive match, but I think it'd just be a fun one to have in general. I'd love to take on Amanda Van Heil. I think
Okay.
that'd be a fun match. But also, there's one I think purely for competition, someone who I think could really take me to the limit, kind of like Caleb did. That's the former champion Nikki Baldwin.
Okay. Calling
So
out
those
the
2 for
Nova.
sure.
Well, amazing, single debut here. We love having you here, and hopefully we will see you in the very near future.
Absolutely, looking forward to it.
Kaleb, a 1-point win. Didn't even have to answer your 5-point question. How does it feel, my friend?
Well, to quote a personal hero of mine, Dominic Toretto, it doesn't matter if it's by an inch or a mile, winning's winning, and I'll take that W gladly. I feel pretty good. Scores and soundtracks didn't go as great as I wanted to. I was gonna respin. I was like, you know what? I put this on here. I might as well keep it. I would have loved his Renaissance. That was a perfect 8. I would have so excited with that. But yeah, I think I did really well with the hand I was dealt. And I'm glad I got that win. And now, I don't even know who's next, but they'll lunch me.
Well, any winning hand is a good hand to be dealt. Going to your 3-pointer in the final round, you took your time. Did you have it before you called the repeat, or did you just want some more time to find the answer?
I had it. 3 was the first thing that popped in my head. I was just double checking my math. I couldn't remember if it was a 5-star or 4-star scale. I just had to picture it in my head again and think it out. And when I was like, oh yeah, if he loses 2 stars, there's no way it'd be a 2-star restaurant. So
All right. Impressive win there. You especially have the hammer in your back pocket. I don't know what you have going on with him, but we appreciate your win. Is there anybody you want to see coming up in movie battles, whether it be fun or competition?
let's see. I already beat David.
Oh, wow.
I already beat him. I'll go with that. Don't really want to play boat yet. Give him a little bit of time to have fun. I'd love to play Nazari again because that one was a fluke on his part. So is Lauren. So, litigator, let's start with you. First one up on the revenge tour. Why not?
There you
Kelly,
go.
you're last because when I beat you, I'm taking that belt and giving you your first.
Strong words from the winner today. Kaleb, congratulations, and we appreciate you playing today.
Absolutely.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, like you said, not a bad showing from Brandon for his first match. I mean, actually a very good showing. Kaleb just had, a little bit more behind him today. I mean, really, he won by 1 point. It came down to round one.
Yeah.
Is really kind of what it came down to. So, because they both scored the exact same amount of points in both round 2 and round 3. So it just came down to that missed question in round 1. That's sometimes all it takes. But Kaleb, of course, already putting himself towards the belt again. We will just have to see how far down this path he can make it. Who knows? He might get that championship shot. We will just have to see. But for now, as you can tell, we've got a lot of stuff in the works. We've got a lot more matches coming your way, but in order to see it, you got to stay here. You got to stay watching. And remember, moo.